Hey y'all, I'm here with another video. The Hype season 2 episode 6. Okay, so we get to the final four, and the final four of course is Brian. Hold on y'all, because every time okay. Episode 6. Okay, so the final four is Brian, Con, Knox, and Barth. Okay, this is gonna be a VR challenge pretty much. So they come in, there's VR setup. I was really trying to find my VR for y'all. Now I'm gonna be real. I have the very first VR that came out like in 2014 or 15. Whenever I got like the phone that I have now, and I've had this phone for a while. Whenever I got my phone, which is a Galaxy, they were giving away free VRs at the time with it. But let me tell you something, the VR that I have, it looks the exact same, but from my understanding, the way the metaverse is set up now is completely different. When I first had the VR, all you could really do when you put it on is you would just pretty much be in like a living room, like a sleek living room, but a living room, and you can just kind of look around. And the only things you could really do is you could watch Netflix, you could maybe go on the internet, and then they only had like maybe 3 or 4 games. It was not a lot at that time. So I'm very interested in getting another one so I can see how it's updated, which is obviously updated a lot, the metaverse. So that's what this episode will be about. It will be about the metaverse. I want to say the avatars, right? Lord, who made Knox? Who made Knox avatar? Because you did a terrible fucking job. It looked nothing like her. Anyway, like it wasn't even the same damn skin color. Like I can't. Anyway, the name of the challenge is block to blockchain. So they pretty much have to make a full fit, but the t-shirt will be their hero. I love hearing marketing words that I know, like hero, feature ads. I love hearing stuff that I really recognize. Anyway, but the t-shirt will be the hero, and then they will also make an NFT as well for their metaverse avatar. So then somebody named Bobby Hundreds comes in and he sells clothes in the metaverse. He explained NFT again, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand NFTs. Kind of like crypto, it confuses the shit out of me. Like I think I understand, but then when we get into the weeds of it, I never understand. So we're just gonna keep going. They will be their own models again, but they will have to make 2 distinct shirts. One that's for the metaverse and then one that's for real life. And the winner will have their shirt, I think, sold somewhere in the metaverse. And then they will also do a fashion week next year for the metaverse as well, which I didn't even know the metaverse had a fashion week. It's a lot going on over there in the metaverse. I ain't gonna hold you. So, day 1, okay? Barth talks about how he's very familiar with the metaverse, so this is gonna be kind of easy for him, but everybody else not too much, especially Con. They talk about the importance of a t-shirt, because I think that's what they talked about too. I'm sorry, Speedy talked about how the t-shirt is the staple, and you know how you really want to make sure you're making a good one, so they talk about that a little bit more. When we go over to Knox said that she is going to focus more on the human anatomy, since like the inside, since even though you're in a metaverse, you're trying to escape, but to not forget that like you're still human on the inside, which I think was a really dope concept. And then we see Barth, and Barth is kind of going with the idea that Marnie gave him about kind of making the ski mask the main focal point versus the little bee or whatever case may be. I find it funny because it says, it's a picture of a mask, and it literally says, no face, no case. And I literally said it like Cardi when I read it. Shout out to Barty, okay? So then, out of everybody that came this damn season, we have a legitimate actual icon step on the scene, Mr. Dapper Dan him damn self. If you don't know who Dapper Dan is, why are you watching this show? I shouldn't even have to have a conversation about who Dapper Dan is. We know, right? Okay, let's keep going. I love this episode because Dapper Dan dropped so many jewels, so many quotables, bitch. So many quotables. It was amazing. But he talked about how he loves the show because it gives young people exposure, and it gives us the opportunity of taking our culture back. Because do I gotta go into the Dapper Dan story? Y'all know why he said that. Let's keep going. He also talked about how he wants to be around new ideas. You know, people will be surprised that he's in a metaverse, but he's like, no, I want to keep up with the young people. Okay, I want to know what's going on. And the NFT jacket that he did, fire. That NFT jacket. Oh, it was like a varsity jacket, and it had like DD. Fire. Even in the metaverse, his shit is fire. Amazing. When Dapper Dan was talking to the contestants, he pretty much said Don't let the amount of followers that you have on Instagram be an indicator to the power of your selling, which I thought was amazing advice to give. He said the biggest test about your clothes is when you do a drop and it completely sells out. That's the test. That is the ultimate test. Not how many followers you have, not any of that. When your stuff drops, does it sell out? Or how fast is it selling out? How fast do certain pieces go? Like, that is what's going to let you know whether or not a drop was very successful. I would have to agree. And the bar that he dropped that I thought was so fire, like, Dap, put this on a shirt. I don't dictate fashion. I translate culture. Even Knox and Barth was like, bitch, that's a bar. That's a bar. I don't dictate fashion. I translate culture. Only somebody who's as seasoned as him could even come up with a quote like that. I live for that quote. I want him to put that on a shirt. Love that. So then Dapper Dan pretty much takes the time to go around and talk to everybody, see what everybody's doing. So we go to Khan, and Khan shows him, his t-shirt has like a cactus on it pretty much. And he says how when he came to California, he felt like it was a paradise, but California has, cactuses, but sometimes it has palm trees, sometimes it has a little bit of everything. But he feels like the cactus because he's been able to weather through the storm and through everything. So Dapper Dan said that he thinks that's a great idea. And Speedy also told Dapper Dan that Khan won 3 times. And he was like, I could see why you won 3 times because I like that idea. Then we go over to Brian. And Brian is taking a flower that's from, I think, a quote that his grandma made and putting it on his shirt to like give homage to her. And then Barth talked about how his outfit is going to be like, it's like a black and white type outfit. And he's talking about how we need to show the light through the dark. And Dapper Dan was like, he likes the idea, but he needs to amplify the message a little bit more in his clothing. And then when we get to Knox again, like I said earlier, her concept is what is inside, So, and then Dapper Dan gave her the advice pretty much saying, give someone a reason to make somebody want to wear your stuff. Just give them a reason. So now it's time for the fitting. When we go for the fitting for Knox, I like the shirt. I feel like that I understand that Knox doesn't like very tight fitting clothes, but I think for something like that in that style that she was doing, I think it would have been better if she had a more tight fitting, because if you want it to look like the spine is going down your back, you want to make it aligned with your spine. And the only way to do that, you can't really do that if the shirt, to me, is like a little bit more baggy. Like, you have to kind of like conform it to yourself so that it looks like it's actually lined up with your spine. But that's just my opinion on that. And then when it comes to Brian talks about how he's been listening to the judges and how they're saying that he's being too cocky, because he said the way he translates that is them saying that like, I'm doing what I want to do versus like what the challenge kind of calls for. Ding, 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 ding. Correct. That is correct, Brian. You're absolutely right. So then we go to day 2. Brian's jacket to me was very interesting. Khan's jacket was dope AF. And I love how Knox was like, the strongest person here that I gotta go against is Barth, which I would have to agree with too. So now it's time for the drop. So Knox goes first. I love the jacket. I thought the jacket was dope. I love the paneling. I love the different fabrics that she used, and I love the way that she cut. It was kind of like this, that. It was kind of like a bitch, I ain't been in geometry so damn long, I don't even know what the fuck it's called. But it's like that, and then it was like she kind of had like cut here, so it made the panels. I don't know, but it was really dope. I like the back of it, and I love the fabrics that she used. The Metaverse shirt I thought was dope because of how it looked on the Metaverse, on the avatar. Like, it had the little skeleton, little heart, or whatever the case may be, the inside of the body, but just like right here. So I thought that translated very well in the Metaverse. But I don't know, in real life, the shirt just didn't hit it for me this episode. Like I said, I don't know. I think part of it is because of the fact that the shirt was so loose fitting. I feel like I said, if it was a little bit more form fitting, and again, I know that doesn't make her feel comfortable, but I'm just saying, I think maybe that's what it was. It's just because it wasn't lined up to me, and that's just me. The judges didn't like the back they didn't like the spine thing on the back of the shirt. They said that it was corny. I don't think it was corny. I just think it wasn't. I said what I said. But Offset did say that he liked the metaverse because he liked the fact that you can see inside. So that was Nox. Then Con comes, and I love the jacket. I love the cut, fabric, all that good shit. I thought the cactus shirt was okay. I thought it was all right. The metaverse shirt, I wasn't blown away with. I thought it was okay as well. He explains the whole thing about the cactus, and I guess maybe once he explained that, the judges kind of liked it a little bit more. And then we go to Barth. I literally have, I don't hate it, but I don't love it, and it's too matchy match for me. I don't like outfits that are like completely matched. Like when I was a kid, I did, but as an adult, I don't like outfits that are completely matchy all the way down. Now I can understand, like for me, when it comes to matching, I either like match my top with my shoes sometimes, but that's kind of the most that I'll do. But outside of that, I don't really care for matchy match all the way through. I think kind of like Offset said about him and his kids, I think it's kind of corny when you do that, but whatever. I did like the fabric though. I really liked his t-shirt in the metaverse. Like on him, I thought it was okay, but in the metaverse, I liked it a whole lot there. The judges actually really liked his look. And then Barth explained how he had an NFT idea where it's like once you buy the NFT, you can actually unlock the physical shirt. So in real life. So I thought that was a dope concept. And then we have Ryan come through. I thought that the colors were interesting. And I thought the jacket was dope. And I thought overall, like I thought from looking at the outfit overall, I thought it was okay. But when we got a little bit closer, I did not like that shirt. Like I think that's the main thing I didn't like the judges did. I didn't really like the shirt. And I think out of everybody, he had the worst metaverse shirt. That shit did not come across good through the metaverse. I hated it. I hated it on the metaverse. Hated it. The judges, they liked the shirt, but they thought it was like too flimsy and too soft for the embroidery of the flower that he had on there. So that was kind of it for Brian. Before Dapper Dan left, he pretty much said, just understand that the message that they set to us here and the outfit, it has to match. So the two has to go together for the person to win. So then that was that. Shout out to Dapper Dan. What an icon, what an icon, what an icon. So then when it comes to the actual judging, they brought Con up first, and they pretty much told Con that like they liked the shirt, but the cactus thing has kind of already been done. So they brought up Cactus Jack, which I think is Travis Scott fashion thing. I'm pretty sure that that's Travis Scott, and I've looked it up. So yeah, it is kind of a cactus. So they said that they feel like it's been done already. But again, like whatever. I've said that. I feel like everything under the sun has been done. It's about how you adjust it and change it. But I kind of get what they were saying, because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really feeling the shirt either, to be honest. And then they asked him why should he be in the finals, and he said that he feels like he works really hard. He knows that he's shy and he's really quiet, but he really wants to get his stuff outside of the state of Ohio. And Beffy was like, once he left, Beffy was like, I mean, I hear all of that, but like, he ain't tell us what he gonna bring to the final. But that's not what y'all asked. Y'all didn't ask him, what is he bringing to the final? Y'all asked him, why should he? I mean, I guess maybe he could explain that in there. I don't know. Moving on. Bars. I have up here in my notes before we even talk about him, I was like, I think he's the favorite by the judges. I think he's the judges' favorite. I think they just like Barth as a person, and I do think like you being likable will get you really, really far, especially in something when it has to do with design or just like kind of having to be social with people. So I honestly think, not that I don't think that Barth is talented, but I think the reason he's been given so many chances time and time again is, number one, because he is growing, but also I just think that they just genuinely like him as a person. That's really what I think it is. But anyway, I literally, when he came up there, I had just noticed that there was eyes on the jacket. Dope. And they pretty much told him that he won, which, let me see. Do I think he should have won that out? Yeah, I guess I would have gave it to either Barth or Con, because I didn't really care for Nox's stuff this episode, and Brian shit absolutely the fuck not. So I guess it's fine that he won. It wasn't my favorite though. Like, I would say this was my least favorite episode as far as outfits was concerned. I didn't really go up for anybody's outfit this episode. And then Nox comes up and they pretty much tell Nox like, we like your clothes, but we don't know what your story is through your clothes. And Knox was like, okay, and walked out and was like, well, I know for a fact I'm not going home because I ain't never been in the bottom. And I'm like, facts. Facts. You might not want anything, but you damn sure ain't been in the bottom. So that should be taken into consideration for something. And then when Brian comes up, they talk to him again about like how we feel like you don't do what the challenge is asked for. And a lot of this has been collaborations, and you're not good with collaborations. And at that point, I knew he was going home. And guess what? His ass went the hell home. And that's what happened. So now the final three is Knox, Khan, and Barth. That's pretty much where we are. I know who won. The video will be up. I know who won. I'm gonna save my comments for that video. But remember what I said about the judges in this episode. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm out, y'all. Bye.